So I really don't enjoy making these videos, but everybody wants to know the expected cutoff of the SBI Clerk Mains 2020 exam, and so I took a crack at it. I was just analyzing all the data that I had gathered, and I was talking to a lot of people over the weekend, and I wanted to wait until I just had all the data so that I could make an educated guess. Of course, this can be wildly incorrect, so take it with a grain of salt. And let's also talk about the various things we can learn from this exam so that we can use them in the mains exams that are coming up. And I hope that this will be useful to you in understanding your performance. And don't really feel sad if your attempts are a little bit low. There is always the next exam to go for, and that's what you can do. So let's begin the video. Hi, this is Supriyo. So I want to start off this video with our lessons from the SBI Clerk 2020, and then we are going to jump into the cutoffs. So just be patient as we talk about the lessons that we can learn from this exam. And I really believe that it's very important that we learn all these things because we have a lot of mains examinations that are coming up, and they are going to be applicable to those exams. So the first thing is about the quant and the reasoning strategy. So how we are supposed to actually proceed with these sections. Now each and every mains paper, so be it the SBI Clerk Mains, the IBPS Clerk Mains, IBPS PO Mains, etc., all these mains examinations, the quant and the reasoning sections can be extremely unpredictable, and we saw this in SBI Clerk 2020 as well, the mains paper. So the quant section, it was by far the toughest because the toughness was not that the questions were extremely out of the ordinary or something like that. It was just that these were very lengthy and you could not actually solve the calculations very easily. You had to spend a considerable amount of time to calculate and get your answer. So that was a problem in the quant section. And in the reasoning as well, we saw a lot of difficult puzzles and difficult seating arrangements, and also some long-winded questions that took a lot of time to get to the right answer. And so the most important thing you have to take away is your choosing. So in these two sections, you have to choose your questions very carefully for every upcoming mains exam. Understand this very well, because if you are not choosing the right question, then you are going to be spending a considerable amount of time to calculate and you are not going to get the answer, and it is going to eat away your time that you have allocated for these sections. Especially this is very important for any exam which has sectional timings. So be careful and remember that you have to choose the right questions. Not every question needs to be solved. In fact, you can get away with solving very less amount of questions as well, but if you are choosing the right question and you are solving them, then you have the edge. So make sure that you don't let your ego take over in the exam hall and choose the right questions. And now the impact of the English. Now even in an examination like the clerical examination where you do not have the interview, the English plays a vital role, because in this exam we saw that the English was straightforward. Only some dense RCs in some shifts had actually come, but most of the things were very easily doable. So anybody who is very good in English will be scoring quite high, and they are going to leave everybody else in the dust. So remember this fact. You have to be good in English for these mains examinations, and you have to tackle this section to make it your very strong section, and you can score a lot of marks in that. So this is something that you have to understand, and since it is a quite predictable type of section, this is a strategy that will definitely help you in the upcoming mains exams. And about the general awareness section, now what happened was initially when I got all the reviews, and I actually talked to a few people over the weekend as well, some people said that the shift to some questions, especially the questions like the IPL, the South Africa IPL question, and also about the first French Open that was won by Rafael Nadal. So those questions, they were a little bit out of the blue, and what happens is the recent events, they actually picked up those recent events and they went back in history. So it was not current affairs, it was actually historical affairs, some people could say, but the weightage of those questions was not that high. So remember that thing. You have actually some chances to score in the general awareness, and the important thing that we were fearing that many questions might come from the old section as well, but we did not see that happen. So that's a saving grace. So all the upcoming mains exams, you can just read the latest 5 to 6 months of the current affairs, at least 6 months read until 1 week from the date of the mains exam. Just read till then, and you are going to be able to solve a lot of questions. And just ensure that you read the budget as well. So in my channel, I have actually covered a budget series, so you have a lot of videos on the budget, important facts and numbers also I have presented, so you can go and check it out. Just go and do a reading, and I think that it's going to be helpful for your upcoming mains exams. And these are the two important takeaways. And also about the banking awareness, so many questions actually were seen from banking awareness. Usually the weightage is low, but this time the weightage was a little bit higher, and I have a full banking awareness playlist that I am going to wrap up very soon, and I hope that it's going to be very useful to tackle this section. So the general awareness in shift 2 especially will be a very critical factor, and it can drive down the cutoff a little bit. So that's what we are expecting as of now. And about the normalization, that is also something about the shift 2 that's going to be very important, because a lot of people faced a lot of difficulty in shift number 2, and that's why normalization plays a very vital role here. So if you are having a very high amount of accuracy and you have attempted average amount of attempts and you have got most of them right, then your chances of your score increasing are very high. So understand this aspect. I keep on repeating this aspect. This always happens in exams where there are multiple shifts, and you can actually focus a lot on the accuracy. So choose the correct question and be accurate in your answers. This will help you so much, and I'm sure that those of you who have listened to me and prioritized that, you are going to be very benefited because of the normalization that's going to happen. And now finally we come to the expected cutoff. So before we see the expected cutoff, let's just take a look at my Telegram channel poll that I had done, and around close to 2000 people would have voted by now. And the thing is that we can see that a very high amount of people, the highest especially 26%, they had actually attempted between 80 to 99. Now this is a very interesting thing, because in these mains exams many people attempt over 100 in many years, and this time it was a little bit different. In fact, I have heard from lot of people who have scored in the 90s and also below 110. So 90 to 110, there are a lot of people who have been in this range. So that's the most popular range that I found out, and there were very few people below 80, and there were just a little bit less people in the 120 plus range. And if you have actually honestly attempted with a good amount of accuracy 120 plus in this SBI Clerk Mains exam, then why are you even watching this? I'm pretty sure that you're going to get selected. So I'm not sure that this is very accurate, the people who voted over here, but still, if you are one of them, then congrats, you are probably going to be selected. So from 100 to 120, there's also been a very major chunk, and after the analysis of all of these things and the past cutoffs and many things, I realized three important factors. So the first factor is that there are a little bit lesser vacancies. So the vacancies are a little bit lower this time around, and so it's not that the vacancies are very much lower, it's almost comparable to the previous year. So I don't feel that vacancies alone are going to be a very important factor in this exam. The second thing to remember is that there was a very hard shift number 2. So the shift number 2, it will definitely drive down the cutoff, because a lot of people faced a lot of difficulties in this section. But conversely, also remember another important factor, which is there's no sectional cutoff, right? No sectional cutoff. So this means that this is a factor which will be very important, that people who are very good in general awareness, very good in English, they are going to lift the cutoff up again. So this is the important thing that you need to remember. So these three important things, if you take into consideration, and then you see the attempts and you talk to the people who have given this examination, then in my opinion, the cutoff for most of the states should be ranging from 88 to 98 marks. Now this is a thing that I have actually investigated quite a lot. I was just rearranging the numbers and finding out. So in my opinion, this is the range for most of the states, but there are a few caveats that you must remember. There are some states where I am expecting that we are going to see the cutoff on the higher side. So I am expecting at least 95 plus for these states, and even it can cross 100. Now these are the states of Punjab. So Punjab is there, then you have Haryana, then you have Himachal Pradesh, then you have Delhi, and then you have the Andhra Pradesh as well, and also Bihar and Tamil Nadu. So these are the states where I am expecting that the cutoff will be ranging at least above 95, and it can cross 100 in some of these states. So just take a note if you belong to these states. And now conversely, there's also something you need to remember, that there are some states where the cutoff is expected to go a little bit lesser. So I am expecting these states to have the cutoff at least in the lower range of this scale, or it can even go below 88. So which are these states? So these are Maharashtra, then you have Gujarat, then you have Madhya Pradesh, and you also have Karnataka, then you have Chhattisgarh, and also another state you have which is Assam. So these states I am expecting in the lower range of the scale, or even below 88. And of course all the other states, they are going to lie in the range that I have told you. So most of the states, they are going to be fitting here, and some can be outliers and they can be out of this range, but this is about the gist of the analysis that I have done. Now I may be horribly wrong, so anything is possible, and especially in an exam where there are so many state specific things and there are so many different factors, it's very difficult to actually predict the cutoff. But I had a crack at it, and let's see, time will tell whether I am right or wrong, but this is about it. There is no need to be disappointed if you have low attempts. You can still make it through, because I told you about the normalization. It's of course possible that you can make it through, but right now the best thing that you can do is to focus on the next exams. There are a lot of exams that are coming very soon, and you do not want to waste any time. Don't waste time thinking about the past, because there are a lot of opportunities that are coming your way. So it's your responsibility to stay motivated, to stay focused, and just go for the next thing that you want in life. So with that said, I hope that you learned something from this video and that it was beneficial to you. If you enjoyed it, please click on the like button and share it with your friends. And if you want to see more of this kind of content, please click on the subscribe button, and do not forget to click the bell icon so that you, my friend, do not miss any future update. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.